Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. Back once again for another jam-packed week of maritime wrestling action, joined by the boys once again. The big boss is here.
What's going on, everyone?
Nothing much. We got the Magic Man.
What's up?
We got the Mark of all Marks.
That's special.
That's special. Well, you're special.
You're
And of course,
He's special, all right.
Yeah. And of course, I am the maritime guerrier. I mean, warrior.
Never killed anything, no.
Yeah, my French was coming out. So unfortunately, we got some sad news to start off with. Chris Doyle passed away. Chris Doyle worked for the Sun 95.5 FM. Now it's known as Rewind 95 FM. How this ties into maritime wrestling, he was the ring announcer for NWE and MSW. Not very old, 47 years old, passed away this week. So our condolences go out to his family, friends, and fans. And unfortunately, we're not done with the sad news. Loverboy, Dennis Condrey, he did work the Maritimes. The Bicentennial Kings, Dennis Condrey and Phil Hickerson, worked for International Wrestling in the late 70s for Al Zink. Dennis Condrey, most famously known as one of the original members of the Midnight Express. Him, Randy Rhoads, created the Midnight Express. They added Norvell Austin, and then they split up. And in Mid-South Wrestling, they would go on to Jim Crockett Promotions, NWA World Tag Team Champions. He would split from them again and create the OG Midnight Express with Randy Rose, with Paul Heyman as the referee, as the manager in the AWA. So he passed away last Friday, I believe. So our thoughts are with their family and friends, and not fun news to start off with, but we do have 5 massive shows to go through. So let's just get right into it. CCW Let's Dance on the VIP. Zane Valentine. Love. Nick and Matt Strong brawled to start the main card. Was on the line. Hunter Sampson, Oliver Henson. Ended in a double DQ. Salem Wilder beat Taylor Rising. For the NBWA tag team titles, Ace Dynasty beat Oscar Ironside and Patrick O'Neil. Stormy Hale beat Wanda Del Rey. Zatara beat Scott Lee Crew. And Money Talks beat L&R Express. This is kind of what I felt was going to happen in the main event, to continue the feud between Kerry Killam and champion Rugged Rick Owens. I've talked to a few people about potentially switching the belt to Kerry Killam. What are your thoughts, Mark? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think there's a snowball's chance in hell that Rugged Rick Owens is losing the title to Kerry Killam?
I think there is. There always will be. Because, I mean, you got to develop something, right? Like, it has to go somewhere. And what better way to do it to have it in the hands of a heel such as himself, the boss of the trailer park? And, who better to go after it than, like, let's say, maybe even Spike Esty? If ever, down the road, right?
It makes sense. You don't think this is, like, cutting Owens' reign a little short?
It's tough to tell.
He did have 2 lengthy reigns to begin with. Like, the first ever reign and his second reign were I think they were over a year each. But I still feel like he just won the belt.
I think he's defended twice?
Once at least, versus Kerry Killam.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think Mark's right. I think Kerry Killam's storyline, him taking the belt, is a good idea. Do I think it happens right away? I don't think so. I think maybe Rick holds the title for probably another 2 or 3 months, maybe summertime, maybe lose the title, and then develop into a different storyline or a different path of the storyline for the fall. But I don't think he loses the title right away.
I agree. I think I like Kerry Killam as a character. I think just the money, the entrance, just the sheer dedication to wrestle in the clothing that he wrestles in.
Oh my word!
Like brutal summers, and he's got a polo, and he's got
a cardigan, sweater, and long pants. Oh my!
It must be brutal. So the dedication, mad respect to Kerry Killam for that. I just feel like there are other heels that you could. I feel like Kerry Killam is over enough where he doesn't need the belt.
No, but I think it'll help the storyline. I think is more the path that that whole him winning the title is going to take. Because I mean, him and Rick have been feuding for a while. I mean, there's got to be a payoff at the end at some point. You can't just have them phase out and walk away. So there has to be some kind of a payoff at some point.
Yeah,
it's possible.
A purpose, I guess, right?
Yeah.
The Strong Brothers. Where does this lead? Like, they had their singles match. I believe it ended in a no contest. Now they're brawling. They're not even having a match. They're just brawling all over the place. Like, it's almost like, remember those books from the 90s, Choose Your Own Adventure? At this point, it's kind of like that. Where does this go? There's no title involved. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any titles involved. It just feels like this leads to something massive.
Yeah. I think it's going to lead to like something big for CCW. I think they're going to keep building. You know what I mean? You're going to go from a match to a brawl to maybe a hardcore match to maybe a dog collar match to, you know what I mean? Just keep
I'm
getting
thinking
bigger and bigger and possibly maybe even end it in a cage match.
That's what I was going to say. I think the big payoff here would be a blood feud cage match.
Yeah.
Does CCW have a cage?
I don't think they've ever had a cage match.
I don't think so.
I could be wrong.
Yeah,
but I don't think they have one.
That's the one limiter is if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? So
you can always get one.
You can always get one. Bring Bubbles back.
Hardware.
Raise the money for one. Man, what a crowd.
That was a huge crowd.
But man, like maybe just to talk about that a little bit, what kind of scares me about that, like if you want to make it a stipulation match, you want a really, really good payoff. What kind of scares me is that there's a lot of different promotions out there that are really getting into those stipulations recently.
Yeah.
And like
I've got a
making
stipulation.
it like, yeah, sure, shoot. Maybe it'll give them an idea.
I don't think they'll ever go with this one.
No?
We're going with it though. All right.
Shave their head?
So, no, fuck them. Listen, you sit Mark in the front row. You put a camera on him.
Okay.
The match goes until Mark looks away. The wilder shit. Whoever does the wildest shit, and Mark goes, ah! That's it.
Jesus.
So a no disqualification match in a way.
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
We call it
No holds barred?
Mark the Mark rules match.
Sure.
And I mean,
Look
he wouldn't
away,
be,
boom. There's
he
the
wouldn't be
winner.
on a pole, but you can call it Mark on a pole match.
So we can't have LG in it because Mark looks away immediately when he sees LG.
LG's there holding his head. You watch the madness.
Perfect. I'm taking off my shirt. I look away.
He wins. It's amazing.
So the River Valley title match ended in a double DQ. Oliver Hansen did lay out Hunter Sampson at the end of the match. Got to imagine we're going to see a rematch there. Seems to be the way of booking this year for CCW, where they're prolonging storylines, and I've always been a fan of that. If you can prolong storylines, like you look at the Mega Power storyline, you're looking at Hogan and Savage having a 1.5-year feud, like from beginning to end, from them shaking hands for the first time until WrestleMania 5, you're looking at maybe even 2 years of build, So long-term storyline booking doesn't bother me at all. Jason, what are your thoughts on this one, the River Valley title match?
Yeah, I think it's great. I like watching Oliver Hansen wrestle. He's got such a great gimmick, and he's such a powerhouse. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the strongest guys, like actual physical strength here in the Maritimes.
There's a few guys that like compared him to Thad Howitt.
Oh, I think he's even stronger than Thad. I mean, I've seen this guy catch Chip Chambers midair into a suplex. I've seen him hold Chip up in the air with one arm. Like, his legs are unbelievably powerful, so it's fun to watch him. And then against somebody like Hunter that is came into his own. He's finally found himself in the last year or two, and I think I haven't seen the match, but I think it would have been a fantastic match. So, yeah, I mean, and Oliver has a great gimmick, and he's fantastic on the mic. So I think this is going to be a storyline that can unfold into so many different avenues.
Can I fantasy book?
Go for it.
What I'd like to see, so eventually stretch out that team of Chizenko and Hansen. And eventually, if Chizenko was to turn on Hansen, on Oliver Hansen, and then you'd have a triple threat match for the NBWA River Valley Championship between Hunter Sampson, Chizenko, and Oliver Hansen.
That would be a hell of a match.
I'd be good with that.
Hell
that
yeah.
Sounds great. I don't think Oliver Hansen wins the River Valley title in the end. I think you're probably looking at maybe a Matt Chevron, a Logan Green, maybe like one of the big heels to take the title. And I'm not saying that Oliver Hansen isn't a big heel, but he's new to the company.
Yeah, and we can fantasy book all day long, but it all depends on what direction the company wants to take it.
Absolutely.
Right? So.
Speaking of direction, Taylor Rising and Wanda Del Rey, two big names coming into CCW.
Oh yeah,
got two women's matches here. Like, CCW is actually, like, really pushing the women here. So, Corey, your thoughts on this bringing outside talent?
Anytime you bring more outside talent, lets the locals get a little look at someone different. Don't forget that it's not only in the match, right? When they're in the ring before the show, they can learn from that. You know, I think that's a key thing that people don't consider. It's not only the talent that's in the ring with that person that's getting the rub. It's everybody else on the roster as well. So I think it's huge, and we're seeing more and more of it right now in the Maritimes. I think that's definitely partially thanks to the size of the crowds, but just in the next few weeks, we're seeing people come in from the States, from Ontario, everywhere. It's pretty great.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I just wanted to mention as well, because I saw this, I think, announced yesterday that Taylor Rising is going to be taking on Athena. I think it's Global Wars, eh?
Yeah.
Maple Leaf Pro.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Seeing her at CCW and then taking on Athena. Wow.
Yeah. So that was CCW. We're going to move on to the next show, Real Savage Pro Wrestling New Beginnings results. Big thank you to RSPW for uploading that literally the next day. So we got to see the matches. Vic Manson beat Chaos. Sako beat Ollie Weiss. Oni Bjornsson beat Snake. A battle royal for the XWA World Heavyweight title. The winner was Gabriel Savage, who successfully defended there. And for the All Territory Elite Championship in a ladder match, Jaws beat Dominic Warrior to win back the, as Corey called it, 8 championship. Dominic Warrior, I think, is the one guy right now that they're building towards the future. And I think that him losing the title here is propelling him into maybe winning one of the heavyweight titles, whether it be the RSPW title or the XAW title. Peninsula Sports always intrigues me because it goes back to hockey. You know, the Track de Alpine, La Marche Chipagon, La Mec, you know, all the, like, the locals there just friggin' love their hockey. And I mentioned hockey because there is a BSHL fan named Cleo. And as I'm watching these shows, he is in the front row. He's so easy to recognize. Dominic Warrior, Mark, we've seen this guy in IPW and we've seen him in the Peninsula promotions. I feel like him maybe doing an IHW or doing North Pro, maybe venturing out into Nova Scotia would really, really propel his career a little faster because he's on the right track. He's really good. Your thoughts on Dominic Warrior losing the All-Territory Elite title?
Well, I mean, if you're looking at it that way, I mean, losing a title is not that big a deal because it can still kind of detach him specifically from that title.
Yep.
And then bring him to other different things that might help him in the future, right? And in a way, like you mentioned, if he was to perform for IHW, if he was to perform for who knows, right? I mean, he's already been to IPW twice now because he was there at Terra in the tap room as well. So there's a couple of different opportunities for him to be seen by other people to kind of get the, it's like we were saying earlier about bringing in women's wrestlers. You get the rub from these guys, and especially like IPW bringing in these big names and like the August Artois and those names.
Ray Fury.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean to get the rub from those guys and just get their knowledge. And I get that the Peninsula is kind of far. Like, especially if you want to drive there, it's almost like 3 hours every time. But yeah.
Here's the thing about Dominic Warrior. I think when they close the book on his career, whether it's a long career, whether it's a short career, I think they'll always look back on this feud with Jaws as his coming out party. It was his first championship. He traded the belt back and forth. Really good matches. I think Jaws did more to help Dominic Warrior's career than people realize. Like, it's going back to Jaws. Like, the All-Territory Elite title is going back to Jaws. People forget CAW was one of like 5 promotions in the Maritimes in the 2010s. Like, there wasn't a lot. And it was the sole Peninsula territory. Jaws was the Acadian champion there. He was their heavyweight champion. Currently, he's the XAW Acadian champion. Now having the All-Territory Elite title just adds to that title. Like, they're in the twilight of their careers. They're older. They've been doing this for 10 plus years now. And, I think it was a good idea to end this show with the ladder match. We did see Gabe Savage attack Dominic Warrior and cost him the match. So Gabe Savage feigned a knee injury after winning the Battle Royal. Came out with a bag of ice on his knee and then hit Dominic Warrior with a chair. Jaws climbed the ladder to success. That's why I mentioned the XAW title or the RSPW title, because which one would Dominic Warrior go after? Like, if you're looking at storyline, well, the Gabe Savage attacked him, so it makes sense that he goes after the XAW title. Yeah. But this was Real Savage Pro Wrestling. And, either one's good, but I think him losing the title propels him into a main event spot in the Peninsula. Jason, 100%. Your thoughts on this?
100% I agree with you. You got to lose the title to step up to the next level. We say it with NBWA, Luke Prestige, CCW, same thing here. If he loses the ATE title, which means now he's available, as you say, the XWA title or the big title. Personally, I think he's going to go after Gabe's title with XWA. I think that would be the next step up, and then eventually go for the big belts. You got to lose it in order to move up to your next level. Giving the title back to Jaws just makes sense, because then he can then mentor and bring up the next person that'll take that ATE title.
There are a few new faces. There's Fireball Kid, I believe was his name.
Yeah, I think so.
There's like the Wyatt family guys. There's Vic Manson, and there's Ollie Weiss, and there's
Disciples of Chaos.
The Disciples of
Asmodeus
Chaos
as well.
Asmodeus, yeah. He was brand new. I hadn't seen him before. But you're looking at like they're even Sacco. Yeah. Like Sacco looked great here. Like he looks better than they ever looked. I look at Dominic Warrior when he first started. Dominic Warrior was a skinny kid.
Tried immune time. Sorry, boys.
Bless you.
So Dominic Warrior was the skinny kid, got trained by Troy Merrick, and now he's like put on some muscle. Like he I don't know if the idea was Warrior and Savage to pay tribute to the Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage, but Dominic Warrior is not an Ultimate Warrior copy. Like you look at him and he's clearly a Finn Balor guy. Like even the finishing move and everything. So big props to Real Savage. This was a great show. They announced their next show will be, I believe, in May at Point La Fenoise.
Believe so, yeah.
So, they're. I haven't heard anything about XAW. I keep wanting to say XWA, but it's XAW.
Yeah.
But if they're
Real Savage next show May 9th.
May 9th. I had 1 or 9 in the head, so 9th. But yeah, May 9th, buy your tickets, Point La Fenoise in the Peninsula. So we're going to go next with Superstars of Wrestling. Luck of the Draw. On VIP, the AIWF Canadian Heavyweight title. Wesley Pipe successfully defended versus Bobby Ocean. Algo Nelly beat Ethan Knight. Mayafa and Jason Boa went to a double countout, so got to imagine maybe a stipulation match going forward, because this is the second time that it ends in a no contest. Dryce Durning beat Sean Knight to crown the first ever Superstars of Wrestling Cruiserweight champion. Alex Robbins beat Fantana. And for the Superstars of Wrestling heavyweight title, Dick Durning successfully defended versus Giant Orion. Let's start off with the Cruiserweight title. We had all predicted Fantana and Alex Robbins.
Wrong.
We were wrong.
I did not.
Oh, he's serious.
I said no. I just want to say yes. I did not say that Fantana would win. I said, as I remember, you said, well, I think it would be better because of the pedigree around, Fantana being a championship pedigree talent. But then it kind of finished where I was like, well, I could honestly see a guy like Alex Robbins being elevated. It might be worth it. It might be not.
Here's my take.
How many matches does he have? Right.
Here's my take on it. Don't knock it until you see it. This could be a hell of a great match. We know Alex Robbins is good, and he turned heel during this match. So he hit a low blow on Fantana behind the referee after he feigned hitting him with the belt. Referee took the belt, put it aside, low blow, and I think he locked Fantana in a submission to get the win.
Hit him with a Sister Abigail, if I believe.
Sister Abigail, yeah. Robbins being the first champion, is it too much too soon? Well, we don't know. Just happened. This could be the greatest thing. But Corey, Alex Robbins, first cruiserweight champion. Do you think he rematches Fantana? Do you think Dryce Durning is next? Because if Robbins is a heel, well, Dryce is a babyface. So what do you think?
I think it's a little bit early for me, personally. I'm happy for him. I mean, I've seen him wrestle live once, watched a few of his matches on YouTube. Yeah, I think, why not both? Why not have a triple threat? Why not have Dryce and Fantana in something? I think that would be a lot of fun. Those are three guys that have very similar styles, and they'd play off each other well. So, yeah, I think for sure. But
you could even throw a fourth guy in there and throw Rudy in the mix.
Yeah, you could.
Rudy would have been my guy for sure, but
I think that's who I would have picked too. But they got visions for Alex Robbins, and I'm not going to say they're wrong, because if you've seen Alex Robbins wrestle,
so good.
The kid maybe has 10, 15 matches. Looks like he's been wrestling for 5 years. He's really good.
Yeah.
for the Superstars heavyweight title, Dick Durning beat Giant Orion. That's a huge title defense, no pun intended. During the match, Wesley Pipes tried to interfere to help out Orion, but it failed, and Dick Durning successfully defended the title. So clearly the feud between Durning and Pipes isn't over. Do we eventually get a match where they try to unify the belts again? Jason?
Possibly. I don't know if they'll unify them right away. I think I think Dick is going to hold his title for a while.
I agree.
If there's going to be any unification, we probably won't see that till the fall. I assume anyway. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. I think I've seen bits and pieces of this match. It looked fantastic. Pipes did try to interfere, missed Dick and hit Orion instead. So that was kind of the downfall there. But there were tables and chairs and I think a cookie sheet involved. And,
yep.
So yeah, it looked fantastic. I love watching Dick wrestle. He's so smooth, and he can be serious or he can play comedy. He's such a well-rounded wrestler. I love him.
I agree. We got a few, imports here. So we got Bobby Oceans, we got Algo Nelly, and who else we had? We had Sean Knight. Mark, you were there in North Pro when we got like Chocolate City, and we got, Turnbull was there. Yeah, we got all these guys. So, Superstars using the North Pro formula. It's a good thing. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, like in the past year or so, I think it's Superstars that's been doing it more often than North
absolutely.
Pro.
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting because I remember when they started the Cruiserweight tournament, they had, was it 23 Hazard?
Yep.
They had a couple other guys there on the card, and it makes it interesting. And
that's the connection that Wesley Pipes has from wrestling in the States and wrestling here and there. I know Algo Nelly, I believe, is a British wrestler, right?
I'm know if
sure.
he is or not. I know he's in the U.S., but I don't know if he's British or not.
I thought someone had told me that he was a British import, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Been wrong too many times, I'd like to admit, to be honest.
He's from GoTown, USA. And,
there you go.
No, actually, he's from New England.
New England, not England.
I'll take a half point.
I was going to say you're half right.
I'm going to take a half point for that one.
That's across the pond, Corey. I'm sorry, you don't get the half point.
I'm taking the half point. Screw you. So Superstars.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we were talking about, like bringing people in. Just recently, they had Chris Masters and Rhino.
Yep,
that's
right. You know what I mean? That was big. Chocolate Cities wrestled for them as well.
They defended their tag titles there.
Yeah. They've taken on the Hollywood Heathens there. I mean, it's fun. They've been there enough that they've wrestled tag as well as singles matches. So, Superstars are doing something right. I like where they're headed, and I'm sure that the best is yet to come for them.
I agree.
It keeps things fresh, and it makes the local talent shine.
Yeah, and like Big Boss was saying earlier, it's giving those guys that are here an opportunity to share locker room with other guys and from other areas, so they can get fresh ideas and different perspectives and that kind of thing. And you know what I mean? Different move sets, different things. So yeah, it's definitely it's a win-win for everybody. That's for sure.
Agree 100%. So Superstars of Wrestling. We're going to move on to the two Dave Boyce shows from this weekend. First up, hell of a card here with a lot of surprises. The Parkside Pub. Rudy Lockhart beat Ricky Mortis. For the Parkside heavyweight title, Hollywood Cole beat Jonathan Cross to start his second reign. Max Power beat Maurice Power in the world's smallest ladder match to get the Power name.
That's
we'll
powerful.
get to that in a second. That's powerful. It's massive. Madison Miles beat Big T to become the number one contender to the Parkside title. And the main event for the Maritime Heavyweight title, a shock here. I didn't expect this one. JP Sims beat Chip Chambers to become the brand new and the second Maritime Heavyweight champion. Let's start with that one. JP Sims, like in doing the history of Maritime Wrestling, you realize how important he is, especially to the 2010s. JP Sims is everywhere. He's a massive draw for CCW in the early days. Like, I don't think there's a year where he's not a champion for like a good 5 or 6 years. Like, whether it be the Extreme Combat title, the TV title, the Heavyweight title, like he's always in a prominent spot. You look at Wrestle Center, he was their top draw there. And even IGW a couple years ago, he was fantastic. And with Dave Boyce in his corner, just like the icing on the cake. Him getting a Maritime Heavyweight title like this, man, that's huge. That's huge. And like going from Chip to JP kind of seems perfect. Big Boss, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I was really happy for JP when I found out. I was a little surprised that he lost the belt. I thought Chip would hold it into this summer. But, I mean, JP, man, guy's a vet. He's been around forever. You know he's going to be at all those boys shows coming up.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I like it a lot personally.
Same. Mark?
Yeah, I think he deserves it.
Or Jason?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's been at this, like Corey said, for a long time, and what a better way to round it all off than winning the Maritime Championship.
I mean, I don't think his career is over.
No, it's definitely not.
It's just this title especially.
Let's not forget who trained Sims.
Go for it.
Lance Storm.
Of course.
He's one of the Storm guys.
Anyway, you got to remember like what this. You got to remember what this belt represents. Like Dave Boyce, when he introduced this title, he went through the history of all the Maritime Heavyweight titles. Instantly, you look at that and you're like, this is one of the more important titles in Maritimes right now. Because it's representing all, from international wrestling to Atlantic Grand Prix wrestling to even North Pro having the NSPW Maritime title to UCW having a Maritime Heavyweight title. Like, this is like, I don't know, this is to me, I'd like a replica of that belt now. Like, it's just, to me, it's so fucking important. And I feel like JP Sims just adds to that. Like, Boyce is an excellent booker and knew exactly what he was doing here. Mark, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, honestly, I wasn't expecting it at least until Supercard.
I don't think any of us was expecting it. When I saw the picture of JP with the belt, I was like, oh, what's this? It was like a pleasant surprise.
How did you say that?
Oh!
That's right. Exactly. But, like, seriously, though, now I kind of look at Supercard and I'm like, what the hell is he trying to figure out here? Like, something's got to be boiling in the pot, we could say, right?
Yep.
Like, there has to be. And, like, I've been looking at especially at what's been announced already, and I kind of realized that, you know, I've been thinking about this for a while, kind of talking about Supercard, how El Reverso is going to be is still, like, there's still a partner that's missing. And I was like, Chip Chambers kind of fits that bill. But then I was like, but no, he's the champion. But then he lost the title. And I'm like, huh. But does he fit there, or is there something bigger for him?
I don't have an answer for you, but the question is now, who takes on JP Sims at the Supercard? Because immediately, I don't think this is happening. But my immediate thought was JP Sims and Johnny DeLuca.
Oh, man.
That's possible, though.
But it's heel versus heel, though.
Yeah. Or, you know, since AJ Styles isn't in the WWE anymore.
AJ is retired. They could run. It's not going to happen.
Run it back.
The boys' bucks aren't. The boys' bucks are good, but I think this is going to take quite a bit. I don't know. The Supercard show and the Leo Burke Cup show to me feels like these two shows are going to be like WrestleMania and SummerSlam for me.
Oh yeah.
They're two shows that I've already booked off work for. The other one's in July, so I'm good. But they're can't miss. And now that JP Sims is the Maritime Heavyweight Champion, I can't wait till they start announcing stuff for Supercard. Let's talk about Hollywood Cole for a minute here. The Parkside champion for a second time. A lot of people forget his first reign was very short. Like, he won that title and immediately lost it. He's got a second chance here. And for some reason, it makes so much sense that he holds this title. And for some reason, I don't think he holds it very long.
Nope.
Madison Miles is now the number one contender. I think Maddie takes that belt from Cole.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and it's been announced as well, eh? Like, I don't know how this is going to work, whether the title is still going to exist, but they're going away from the Parkside Pub.
Yeah.
So, like, how's that going to work? Is there going to be a final champion, or is this going to be a title that's going to be defended kind of all around the Maritimes, or like different name?
I mean, it's yeah, they're going away from the Parkside Pub. I mean, Dave is retiring, so at some point, exactly. But at some point, all of these titles are going to be not defeated. You know what I mean? Unless another promotion or other promotions decide to take over the Maritime title.
I mean, I look but you look at the DIY title. It was defended mostly after DIY closed. It was defended in the Propeller Arcade for Pro Wrestling Unleashed. You know, could New Scott take over? Like, who else but New Scott could take over that Maritime Heavyweight title?
Well, I mean, UCW could take it over. It could potentially go to the Maritimes. You know what I mean? It could be defended at North Pro. It could be defended at IHW,
a traveling
UCW.
Title.
You know what I mean? You never know. ECPW. Like, I mean, JP wrestles all of those places. Well, not North Pro yet, but you know what I mean? All of those places. Anywhere JP travels, he could defend that title anywhere.
Yeah. My thought on it is probably either... I think Boyce is going to want his belts when he's done, so...
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Absolutely. We got to touch on the Max Power, Maurice Power storyline here. So Maurice Power will no longer be able to be Maurice Power. He will just be Maurice, I guess.
That's right. From the Steve Miller Band song. He's Maurice.
So, he could just split his name in half and go by Mo Rice.
Mo Rice.
Mao. Is it?
Mao.
No?
Mao Rice.
Maybe.
But, you know, this was a storyline for Parkside that's been going on for a while. And finally there's a payoff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were expecting Maurice to win because I believe Maurice is the babyface, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So the heel gets it here. It makes sense to me because Max Power's been wrestling with that gimmick for years
Ever?
now. Yeah, forever. So Maurice, it's a chance for him. Like, he's had the storyline. He can change his gimmick up and have something of his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we were not done with Dave Boyce shows. The very next day, a matinee show in Mount Uniac. Max Power.
You said that well, Mount Uniac.
There you go. Did I say it right?
Corey, you're improving.
I'm improving.
He's growing up, guys.
I wouldn't go that far.
Look for you.
I wouldn't go that far, boys.
I'm learning.
Don't build his ego up too much. I'm going to drive to town with this prick on Friday.
No. I have to stand in a car with you rubbing your forehead going,
Stand in
a car.
I hate life.
Any progress
I hate life. I hate life. Oh, God, I hate hockey. Why am I bald?
You can't even stand. You can't even stand outside of a car. I don't think you're going to stand inside a car.
I'm that short.
You have a hard time standing up during the game. Your knee gets so bummed up. Settle down.
Sugar knee.
So the Mount Uniacke show, Max Power beat Madison Miles. The winner of that would get number 10 in the Royal Rumble, and the loser would get number 1. So
Wrong.
Max Power will come out at number 10, and Maddie would come out at number 1.
No, number 1 starts.
So
the winner
starts.
Never
mind. Carry on. Carry on, boys. I'm not all right. I'm not okay.
Here's the thing. You got to give Corey a break. This weekend was BR Oodle. So next matchup, Big T beat Ricky Mortis. JP Sims and Deuce beat Chip Chambers and Jonathan Cross. Rudy Lockhart beat Hollywood Cole. I did get to see this match. Thank you to Hollywood Cole for putting that on Facebook. And the Royal Rumble saw Madison Miles start at number 1. And it was an 11-person Royal Rumble. My apologies. So Max Power came out at 11. Madison Miles gets the win here. Madison Miles, she's not doing a lot of shows. But the shows that she is doing, she's ruling at them. You know, winning this Battle Royal here, probably going to be the next Parkside champion, probably the final Parkside champion. Thoughts on this, Jason?
Yeah, I've always liked the way Madison wrestles. She's, 26, 27, and she's a staple of maritime wrestling. Probably the most successful female wrestler we've had in decades.
I think she's the measuring stick now. I think what she's accomplished women's wrestling wise, I don't think anybody can touch her.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so I think you're right. I think she ends up with the Parkside title, and I think that she is going to be like Dave's last champion. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, her and Dave go way back, right? So it just makes sense.
We've heard the stories. Ringing the bell and Maddie, go! Mark, your thoughts on this?
Kind of crazy that you're saying way back and you were just saying she's 26 or 27. Eh?
Yeah, right? Well,
she was a kid back then. She was like 10 years old when she was doing that, you know?
Yeah.
I remember seeing Madison Miles in the crowd for IHW shows. She had paint on her face, and to think years later I'm watching her wrestle, what a journey it is for Madison Miles. In my opinion, first ballot Hall of Famer. If the Maritime Wrestling would have a Hall of Fame, I think Maddie should be in it. Corey,
yes.
You think of that?
Yeah, I think Maddie deserves her spot there. I think she was younger than 10, to be fair.
I think so too, yeah.
I remember her raising money for Christmas Daddies back in the day, so I'd go in and drop some money in the jug that she had with her. But Maddie's she's only 26 years old. She's been doing this for about 10 years, and she's a legend in the Maritimes, legend in the making, we'll say.
Yeah. If there was somebody that would go into it's like we were saying a while back there, if there was a Maritime Wrestling Hall of Fame, she'd be the first female in there for sure.
Didn't I just say that? What am I, invisible here?
Echo.
Yeah.
Echo.
We try to block you out.
I have an idea. I have a great idea. I hope you guys agree. Dave is retiring this year. I think he puts all that energy and starts a Maritime Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I agree 100%. I think
you're not retired, right?
Well, he's retiring from... He's retiring from booking shows.
Yeah,
it's so overdue, and I don't maybe Dave is no, that's a lot of work. I want to stay away from that, and I respect that. I really do, but I don't know if there's anybody else that would be capable of doing it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave Boyce is the man.
I will share. Or be a chair, get a board together. You know what I mean? Get some people on a board. Try to figure something out. Doesn't necessarily have to be a physical location to start with either. It could be an online thing, or you know what I mean. But I think it has to be done sooner than later.
Yeah. I will say a quick little story about Dave Boyce. I didn't message him for the results. I woke up on Monday morning, and he had sent me the results like 10 minutes before I woke up. And I was like, wow, I was just about to message you. And he just said, ha, 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 you're welcome. So a big thank you to Dave Boyce. A big thank you to Paul Vigneault, who gave me the results for Superstars. Big thank you to the Port City's finest, Caden, for the CCW results. I also got the results from Connor Cook. Thank you very much. And big thank you to Real Savage Pro Wrestling for putting the shows online. And that was this week's episode. I predicted around 45 minutes, and we are at 45 minutes. So anything else before we sign off?
I mean, now that you're saying that, I got plenty to say, because we're just passing by 45 minutes.
There you go.
We're not, we're not quite like Rudy and Kobe there.
Yeah, first and foremost, no shows coming up this weekend.
None.
But the week after, there's a bunch, so we'll get into that next week. And maybe we'll bring back Mark's Side of the Ring next week, since it's going to be a shorter episode.
I believe that Mark already has a match that he's watched. We're not going to spoil it. Going to have to wait and see. But Big Boss, you good?
No, I'm good to go, man.
Good to go? All right. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody who tunes in every week. We appreciate the support. Without the supporters, subscribe. Without the supporters, this isn't possible. So a big thank you to everybody. Big thank you to the crew for joining me this weekend. We will all see you in 7 days. Until then, take care, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Unofficial Maritime Wrestling Podcast. We drop new episodes every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Atlantic Time, so make sure to join us each week. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and also listen to the episodes and interviews on all your favorite podcast platforms, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And if you want to support us even further, grab one of our t-shirts over at Pro Wrestling Tees. Just scan the QR code to get yours. Until next time, thanks for listening and supporting Maritime Wrestling.